I almost think it's Christmas a little early here today, don't you, David?
It is Christmas a little early.
Christmas a little early.
Yep.
Well, whether you want to follow the story of a covert CIA officer or the failed attempts of saving the day with a cartoon villain, David Ramsey has the details of this weekend's box office.
Well, we're going to start with a comedy called Due Date. Now, this has Zach Galifianakis, who's in just about every other movie, and Robert Downey Jr., who's in all the ones he's not in. Now they're together, and they're going cross-country trying to get from Birmingham, Alabama to Los Angeles in time for Robert Downey Jr.'s wife's birth of their first child.
All right.
Your personality needs some work. My God. Okay, it's like I've got a mind. Holy moly, it's like I'm traveling with a child.
Did you use the restroom?
Good point. I need to take a pee-pee.
Well, actually, both their personality needs a little work. This is kind of a takeoff on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but isn't quite as funny. They both have huge personality issues. But in this, there is one scene that is so unexpected and so funny. It's something you'll always want to do. I laughed so hard I literally fell out of my chair. I was laughing 5 minutes later.
Did it hurt?
Yes, it seemed, and it hurt in the movie as well. So. Due Date has some very funny scenes, but it's also, it just doesn't quite mesh on every level. Zach Galifianakis goes a little overboard. So, you know, it's okay. I'd give it 3 out of 5 bags of popcorn. It's a nice matinee movie.
3 definitely worth the falling out of your chair.
Oh, yeah, that one
for a good
scene,
laugh.
you know, that one scene is hysterical.
You'll have to tell me about it.
Yeah, I will. And then next we have Fair Game, which is one we're talking about. It's the story of Valerie Plame, who was a CIA agent who was outed right after her husband wrote an article criticizing the war in Iraq.
If you help us, we help you. If you don't, your brother dies. And tomorrow you're sitting next to your uncle in a cell in Thailand, and it won't be me asking the questions.
No, you can't.
Anyways, based on a true story, the ambassador who did some research for the CIA on Iraq, and when the story came out of the WMDs and what they were going to do, the invasion of Iraq, he wrote a counterpiece saying that that's not what it was. He was there and it was all a lie. And of course the administration went after him and they outed his wife. So her whole career went up in smoke, and so did all the stuff she was working on. So this is a very political, very timely thing, but at the same time it's very well acted. Sean Penn, Naomi Watts, it's a good movie, only playing Harkins Camel View, and again, 3 out of 5 bags of popcorn. It's a little political for a lot of people, but it does give more insight into what actually happened.
Very good.
And then we have Tamara Drew. Now,
what's that one? I don't know.
Yeah. Do you remember the old movie Far From the Maddening Crowd? It's like an update. This is based on a graphic novel of a Thomas Hardy novel, and it's about a girl who returns to her hometown in England to sell her family estate.
I'm Tamara Drew.
What?
I'm supposed to be interviewing you for The Independent. It was scheduled for later, but it's now a good time.
Okay, so Gemma Arterton plays Tamara Drew. She comes back to town. She's had a nose job, so she looks completely different. And she gets involved with, there's a writer's conference next door, writer's retreat. She gets involved with someone there. She gets involved with her old boyfriend. She gets involved with a drummer from a rock band. And she's trying to figure out what to do from there. Here's where she mesmerizes all the guys in town and kind of annoys all the women in town. And there's 2 teenage girls who really are into the drummer that she's into, so they kind of follow her around and try and figure out what's going on. It's actually a pretty good romantic comedy. Like I said, very similar to Far From the Maddening Crowd from the 60s. I liked it, and I enjoyed the film. It's a comedy, action, or not action, comedy and drama. 4 bags of popcorn, only at Harkins Camel View, but it's worth the trip up there.
Okay.
It's fun. I think you'll like it.
What's with the only at the certain theater thing?
Well, a lot of movies only play at one theater because they only print, so it's very expensive to make all the prints, and they know it's a limited audience or a small company, so they only make so many prints, send it to the art houses.
If you build it, they will come to that theater.
Right, and if it does really, really well, they expand it, and that happens quite often.
All right.
And then we have Megamind. Now, this is a animated film about a villain who suddenly finds himself without a hero to fight.
There's a certain someone in my family that's looking
Is
forward
this
to this.
a nerdy supervillain website where you get Tesla coils and blinky dials?
Actually, most of it comes from an outlet store.
Don't answer that.
Megamind has invaded our studio.
Anyway, it's actually pretty funny. They were both the superhero Metro Man and Megamind were sent to Earth as babies, but they grew up completely differently. One of them becomes a hero, one of them is the villain. But once he vanquishes the hero, he realizes he has nothing to do, and so he creates another villain. And it goes from there's a lot of twists, a lot of things going on. And it's got a lot of stuff for adults and kids, and it's very well done. The girl is voiced by Tina Fey. You've got Brad Pitt's voice. You've got Will Ferrell, David David Cross. It's a fun animated film.
You have no idea how difficult it has been to sit
4
here
out of 5 bags
and
of
have
popcorn.
you speak so eloquently and passionately with that thing on your head.
It's the mind that allows me to do that. I mean, before that, I didn't have this Megamind, so I could actually speak so eloquently.
All right. Well, you can find any of David's movie reviews on our website, sonoraandliving.com. I always knew you were bright, but not that bright.
Well, try to keep it secret.